Hey guys, how are you doing? It's Martin Cliffe here with another My Guitars update video. As you know, if you saw a couple of videos ago, I'm not numbering these anymore. But this is a very traditional instrument in many ways. This is my Fender jazz bass. I bought primarily because I wanted a passive bass for teaching. I'm teaching bass more this year, more professionally, actually as a peripatetic member of the teaching staff at the school, which is quite cool. But I did want a passive 4-string bass just as an option to do that. So this is a Fender American Special. It is a 2013 bass. I bought it second hand, came from America, I'm pretty sure. Maybe Japan, I can't remember. I bought several guitars over the summer because they were ones to fill holes in my collection with the aim of selling on other stuff, which hasn't quite happened yet, but I'm working on it. So I've made a few upgrades to this over the time, and will be making more, I suspect. From the most basic cosmetic upgrade of putting a Fender Corona California neck plate on rather than just a blank metal one. I've done that to my American Special Tellies as well. I just really like that addition. The bridge had a nasty cheapo like you get on a Mexican standard jazz bass bent metal bridge, so I bought one of the Fender high mass bridges, which took a bit of getting on and getting into place, if I'm honest. The saddles are very tight together, so you can height adjust one and it doesn't move, it just sits there in midair, and then you have to kind of adjust the other, and I ended up having to tap it with a hammer with a cloth between it to try and get everything to sit into position. It's just a little bit too tight. So now I've got it set up, it's great, but it did take a little bit of work. I've also replaced the machine heads with good quality hip shot tuners, because again they're the cheapo Mexican standard tuners that come on this bass. This is the thing about the American Special series, was that while it was an American made bass, it was the cheapest American made bass, and a lot of the hardware came from the Mexican stuff, which meant that obviously it was a lot cheaper to buy because it was cheaper to make, but it does mean that the hardware wasn't quite as good. But sometimes buying a cheaper instrument when you can afford it and then upgrading when you can afford to do that is a better option than buying a more expensive instrument in the first place, plus you get more choice. So I put 3 ordinary hipshot machine heads on there. I can't remember the model number of it, and then the hipshot D tuner on the low E, so I can get that D. I've had a D tuner on my main Yamaha for many years. Just over 17 years, I think. So I wanted to get one for this because a 4-string without a D tuner just seems a bit of a waste of time to me, personally. You know, a lot of the music that I end up teaching in lessons, quite often, you know, a kid will bring a riff to me that is in drop D, and it's much more accurate and easier just to flick the lever rather than constantly retuning. And it doesn't add a lot to the weight or the balance of the bass. Just a really cool option. You don't really see a whole lot of it either. It's just this little, you kind of replace the whole machine head and this little lever here that then swings the machine head round. Yeah, pretty simple. Now, because it is an American Special bass, it does have I think it's the grease bucket tone circuit, which, if I'm honest, I don't really like, because you turn down the tone control, it doesn't seem to do very much. So I am looking at possibly replacing the pickups, but certainly replacing the controls on this. I found a store online that does a set of DiMarzio Ultra J pickups, I think they are, and a 920D control plate for a good price, so that may well be a purchase nearer Christmas to upgrade the sound of this. But it's not a bad sounding bass, it's just not amazing. It's rosewood fretboard, obviously for a bass of this era. It's a 3-tone sunburst, maple neck, older body, I would imagine. Yeah, so neck pickup on its own. Maybe I'll turn off my overdrive. But then if I roll the tone down, it's kind of okay, but it's not as dark and woody as I would like it to be. So, you know, if I want to play kind of just doesn't have that dull thud, which obviously a P bass would be better for anyway, but that kind of thick, dull, dark, dubby kind of reggae sound, I just can't get out of this at the moment. Switching to the bridge pickup, it's pretty snappy. And then rolling the tone back. I don't know, it isn't still, yeah, it isn't for me. And both pickups on together, which is where I tend to keep it most of the time, because that's how most basses sound best to me. And with some drive finally for good measure. So it plays great, still needs to do a little bit of tweaking with the action, I think, particularly with the new bridge, but now a good solid bass, very simple, just does the job nicely, and it's great for the purpose, which was to have a traditional 4-string passive bass, because I haven't had one of those for over 20 years, I think. I started, my first bass was a Squire jazz bass, Squire Japan jazz bass, which I got when I was about 13, 14. Loved that bass, but yeah, I haven't really gone down that route ever since, so it's nice to get back to this. And I'm actually enjoying playing it quite a lot. It is a world behind my mic lull, but it is, you know, still quite a lot of fun to play, and it's good to have options. So thanks for watching, guys. More videos coming soon, hopefully. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon.